Right now, there are 5 pickup trucks sitting on used car lots that salespeople struggle to move, yet every mechanic I know is quietly snagging them for their own families. These are not fixer-uppers. These are not acceptable compromises. I am talking about trucks that will push past 250,000 miles on basic maintenance alone, selling for thousands below market value for one ridiculous reason. Nobody realizes how good they are. After more than 2 decades working on trucks, I have watched countless buyers shell out premium prices for Tacomas and F-150s, while these 5 gems collect dust, waiting for someone with enough sense to notice them. And truck number 1? That has been my go-to recommendation for years now. I have steered dozens of customers toward it, and not a single one has returned with anything major gone wrong. Today, I am breaking down my 5 most underrated used pickups on the market. Trucks that deliver Toyota-grade dependability at a fraction of the cost. I am spending the most time on number 1 because that is the truck that will completely change how you approach buying a used pickup. Let's dive in. Starting us off is a truck that mechanics actually enjoy seeing come through the shop. Not because it generates repair revenue, but because when something does need attention, everything is accessible and affordable. And the best part, you can find solid examples starting around $25,000. Just last spring, a young couple in their late 20s walked into my shop wanting my opinion on a Colorado they were eyeing. It was a 2020 with 75,000 miles, and the dealer had it marked at $27,500. I looked over the service records, assessed what maintenance was overdue, and gave them the honest truth. They were about to spend nearly $30,000 on a truck that would need considerable work within the first 2 years. I suggested they consider a 2023 Ford Maverick hybrid instead. We found one with 28,000 miles for $26,200. Better fuel economy, simpler maintenance requirements, and the hybrid powertrain has been proving remarkably trouble-free. They went with it. That was 14 months ago. Their total repair bill since then was about $90 for an oil change and wiper blades. Here's what most people overlook about the Maverick. Ford built this truck on a proven platform shared with the Bronco Sport and Escape, both of which have demonstrated solid reliability. The standard 2.5-liter hybrid setup is elegantly simple. No turbocharger to eventually fail, and no complex transmission to cause headaches. The electronic continuously variable transmission paired with the hybrid system has been running smoothly for years in other Ford and Toyota products. Consumer Reports actually rated the Maverick EcoBoost as one of the most reliable vehicles under $30,000, and it was the only pickup truck to make that list. The hybrid version shows average reliability, while the turbocharged EcoBoost version earns above average marks. Annual maintenance runs about what you would spend on a Honda Civic. The catch, it will not tow like a full-size truck. Maximum capacity is 4,000 pounds with the tow package. But for most folks who need a truck bed for weekend projects and Home Depot runs without paying pickup truck gas prices, the Maverick delivering 40 miles per gallon in city driving is a revelation. You are looking at one of the most practical vehicles on the market that nobody takes seriously because it does not look tough enough. Number 4, Chevrolet Colorado. This mid-size pickup has some of the lowest repair frequency numbers of any truck in its segment, yet it depreciates faster than it should given how solid these trucks actually are. I've been tracking these trucks for years now. Whenever a second-generation Colorado rolls into my bay, I almost feel guilty because there's rarely anything substantial to fix. Oil changes, brake pads, the occasional belt. That's about it. Last fall, a guy brought in his 2019 Colorado with 145,000 miles. He purchased it new and drove it hard for 5 years hauling equipment for his landscaping business. He wanted to know what expensive repairs were looming. I went through everything systematically: suspension, brakes, drivetrain, pulled codes, checked all the fluids. You know what needed attention? The cabin air filter. I suggested he swing back around 180,000 miles for another look. General Motors did something sensible with the Colorado that started in 2015. They kept the engineering straightforward while competitors added layers of complexity. The 3.6-liter V6 does not rely on a turbo that can give out. It uses a timing chain engineered to last the engine's entire lifespan, paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission that has been refined over years of production. RepairPal assigns the Colorado a 4 out of 5 reliability score, placing it 4th among 7 mid-sized trucks. Annual maintenance averages around $599 compared to $652 for all vehicles. The probability of a major repair sits at 13%, matching the segment average. Owners average 0.2 unscheduled repair visits per year. That means Colorado owners are rarely surprised by problems. Current pricing makes this even more attractive. A 2019 Colorado LT with under 80,000 miles runs about $20,000 to $24,000. A comparable Toyota Tacoma is about $28,000 to $33,000 for similar miles. That is an $8,000 difference for a truck that statistically costs about the same to maintain long term. When you are checking out a used Colorado, watch for 3 things. Check the paint on body panels, particularly door edges. Some model years had minor clear coat issues in certain climates. Test the infotainment system thoroughly. Make sure all screen functions respond properly with no lag. If it is a 4-wheel drive model, engage the system in an empty lot and listen for any grinding or clicking. Number 3, Nissan Frontier. This might be the most overlooked workhorse truck in America. The depreciation on these is almost disrespectful considering how bulletproof they have proven to be. The second-generation Frontier ran from 2005 to 2021 with minimal changes. Some people see that as outdated. Mechanics see it as 16 years of sorting out any potential problems. By the time you reach the 2018 or 2019 model years, Nissan had essentially perfected this platform. RepairPal gives the Frontier a reliability rating of 4 out of 5, ranking it first among 7 mid-sized trucks in their database. Annual maintenance costs average $470 compared to $548 for mid-sized trucks overall and $652 for all vehicles. That's meaningful money. Saved every single year you own this truck. The 4-liter V6 in these trucks is wonderfully unstressed. It produces enough power without working hard, which translates directly to longevity. Owners routinely report pushing these engines past 200,000 miles with nothing more than regular oil changes. Some have documented trucks exceeding 300,000 miles on original drivetrains. A few exceptional examples have even crossed the 1 million mile threshold. Current market pricing. A 2018 Frontier SV with around 70,000 miles typically runs $16,000 to $20,000. Compare that to a 2018 Tacoma SR5 at similar mileage, commanding $26,000 to $30,000. You are paying $10,000 less for comparable functionality and arguably similar long-term durability. One critical inspection point. Avoid 2005 to 2007 automatic transmission models unless you can verify the radiator was addressed. These early years had a design flaw where transmission coolant could mix with engine coolant inside the radiator, destroying the transmission. This issue, nicknamed SMOD by owners, was resolved in 2008. If you are looking at a 2005 to 2007 model, ask specifically whether the radiator was replaced or bypassed. Many savvy owners already handled this. For 2013 and newer Frontiers, the truck is essentially worry-free territory. The 2018 model year in particular shows some of the lowest average repair cost in owner surveys, with many spending under $350 annually. That's exceptional for any truck, let alone one you can purchase for under $20,000. Number 2, Honda Ridgeline. This is the truck that will get you roasted at a job site, but quietly outlast everything else in the parking lot. The Ridgeline catches endless criticism for not being a real truck because of its unibody construction, but that unusual engineering is precisely why it belongs on this list. I had a contractor come through last year in his mid-50s who wanted something for light hauling and daily commuting. He had been pricing Tacomas, but was getting sticker shock on anything decent with reasonable miles. I asked if he had considered the Ridgeline. He actually laughed. He said, "That is not a real truck." He said, "It is a minivan with a bed." I showed him repair records from Ridgelines I had worked on over the years. Then I pointed out that the 3.5-liter V6 under the hood is the same engine family powering the Honda Pilot and Passport, with millions of examples proving their longevity. It is timing chain driven. There are no belt replacement intervals, just basic maintenance. His total out-of-pocket for repairs over a decade of average ownership was estimated at $8,500 according to CARLYFE data. That is roughly $1,500 less per year than comparable mid-sized trucks. He bought a 2019 Ridgeline RTL with 52,000 miles for $24,500. He called me 8 months later to say it was the most comfortable vehicle he had ever owned for daily driving, and the in-bed trunk feature had proven more useful than he expected. Here is the engineering reality most people miss. The Ridgeline's unibody construction means fewer body-on-frame components to wear out. The independent rear suspension delivers a ride quality that traditional trucks cannot match. It handles more like an SUV because mechanically it essentially is one with a pickup bed grafted on. Payload capacity is 1,500 pounds. Towing maxes out at 5,000 pounds. Those numbers will not impress heavy-duty haulers, but they cover 90% of what average truck owners actually need. And the Ridgeline does all this while returning better fuel economy than competing body-on-frame trucks. Current market values show a 2018 Ridgeline RTL with 70,000 miles running, $18,000 to $21,000. A 2018 Tacoma TR D Sport with similar miles runs $28,000 to $32,000. That is a $10,000 premium for the Toyota badge and the perception of being a proper truck. The Ridgeline carries a 3.5 out of 5 reliability rating from RepairPal, with average annual repair costs of $502. Second-generation models from 2017 onward have been particularly solid. J.D. Power gives the 2024 Ridgeline their highest reliability score for the generation at 87 out of 100. Who should skip this truck? Anyone who needs serious towing capacity. Anyone who goes off-road beyond gravel paths. Anyone who cares more about perception than practicality. For everyone else, the Ridgeline is a smart buy hiding in plain sight. My number one pick is a full-size pickup with the same legendary drivetrain as the Lexus GX, the same unstoppable reputation as the Land Cruiser. More capability than either, yet it sells for $8,000 to $12,000 less than comparable competitors, because average buyers do not fully appreciate what they are looking at. Let me tell you about a customer who actually argued with me about this truck. 3 years ago, a man in his late 40s came in. He needed something reliable for highway commuting and occasional towing. His budget was around $30,000. He had been looking at F-150s because that is what everyone buys. I asked if he had considered the Tundra. He waved it off as a second-tier truck that could not compete with American full-size trucks. I walked him outside to my personal vehicle, a 2016 Tundra SR5 with 205,000 miles on it. I purchased it with 90,000 miles for $22,000. At that point, my total maintenance beyond routine service came to about $2,400. That included a full brake job, tires, and a water pump at around 180,000 miles. He bought a 2018 Tundra SR5 the following week for $26,500 with 58,000 miles. He texted me recently. He is at 142,000 miles now, 0 mechanical issues. His exact words were, "I do not understand why more people do not know about this truck." Here is why I am devoted to the second generation Tundra from 2007 to 2021. The 5.7-liter V8 in these trucks is from Toyota's 3URFE engine family. One of the most thoroughly proven V8 architectures in the automotive world. It does not suffer from direct injection carbon buildup like many modern engines. There's no timing belt to replace because it runs a chain. There is no turbocharger to fail because there is not one. It simply runs. I have personally serviced 4 Tundras north of 300,000 miles with original transmissions still shifting smoothly. These are not unicorns. Toyota designed this drivetrain for commercial fleet duty where reliability determines whether companies survive. Now let us examine the financials. RepairPal shows the Tundra averaging $606 in annual repair costs compared to $936 for full-size trucks overall. That is $330 saved annually, which compounds over a decade of ownership. The probability of a major repair is 19% better than the segment average. CarEdge data suggests 10-year maintenance costs around $7,000 to $9,000, beating industry averages for full-size pickups by roughly $2,400. Current market pricing makes this even more compelling. A 2018 Tundra SR5 with 80,000 miles runs $25,000 to $29,000. A 2018 F150 XLT with comparable miles runs $27,000 to $32,000. The Ford may offer more features and better fuel economy, but long-term total cost of ownership often favors the Tundra once you factor in repair frequency and depreciation patterns. Toyota's full-size trucks hold value exceptionally well. The Tundra ranks in the top 10 vehicles for 5-year and 7-year resale value across all categories, not just trucks. That means your purchase today becomes less painful when you sell in 5 years. Inspection checklist when shopping. First, listen for a ticking noise from the exhaust manifolds. Some Tundras develop hairline cracks that create an exhaust leak sound. It is not catastrophic, but factor $400 to $600 into your negotiation if present. Second, check all the door handles and locks. Some years had issues with interior door handles breaking. Third, examine the frame carefully in rust belt states. Toyota had a well-documented frame rust issue on certain years and extended warranties on affected trucks. Verify whether it has been addressed. The ideal find is a Tundra owned by someone who used it primarily for highway commuting rather than heavy work duty. Find a suburban family's garage-kept example with documented service history, and you have essentially got a truck that will serve you reliably for another 150,000 miles with minimal drama. The bottom line. That's my lineup. 5 trucks the market has overlooked, but mechanics never forgot. The Ford Maverick, with its hybrid efficiency and car-like practicality and true truck-like capability. The Chevrolet Colorado depreciates like it is cursed, but performs like it is blessed. The Nissan Frontier offers battle-tested simplicity and some of the lowest maintenance costs in its segment. The Honda Ridgeline gets mocked by traditional truck owners, yet it outlasts most of their rigs. And the Toyota Tundra is the most underappreciated full-size pickup you can buy. You now know 5 trucks you can purchase for under $30,000 that will outlast vehicles costing twice as much. Next time you are at a dealership and a salesperson steers you toward a 3-year-old luxury lease return, you will have better options in mind. Take care of your truck and it will take care of you. That is not a saying. That is 2 decades of watching what survives.